know about Association of Indian Management Schools? It's a 34-year-old networking body of B schools in India, having a membership of about 600 top management institutions. AIMS focuses on professionalization of management education, protects interests of B schools, represents management institutions at national and international forums, financially supports members in academic events, funds research projects on management, disseminates management-related knowledge through its annual Management Education Convention, conferences, seminars, roundtables and workshops, organizes free weekly webinars on knowledge sharing and inspiring young leaders sessions for management faculty and students, supports B schools in admissions through Atma, AIMS test for management admissions. Visit https://atmaims.com for more details. Publishes a biannual AIMS Journal of Management. Visit https://aimsjournal.com for more details. Circulates a quarterly e-newsletter on AIMS activities. Conducts workshops on case writing. Encourages AIMS members to be part of decision-making processes as members of chapter management committees and the executive board. Encourages students' participation in free weekly quiz competitions by providing support to interested institutions. Facilitates networking and interaction among B schools. Why would you like to remain a non-member of AIMS? Pay a very low one-time membership fee and enjoy many lifetime benefits. Visit https://aims.org.in for more details.
Happy to welcome Mr. S. Senthil Kumar, Corporate Head, Human Resources Administration, AG&P, Pratham. Sir, can you take over the session, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thank you all. I hope probably you're all comfortable in speaking English. Probably here and there I may use few words in Hindi, but otherwise largely it will be in English. So there are 2 points I would like to make it clear. It is not a one-way session. So whatever doubts you have, you can put it in chat box. That is through chat you can send. Even after the discussion, if at all you have still any queries moving forward, you can definitely post that. I'm happy to answer. Basically, I'm a HR professional having about close to 25 years of core HR experience. From day one, after completing my MBA, I'm into core HR. So once I completed my MBA in HR, from day one, I'm into various institutions, starting from service sector, manufacturing, both at corporate level as well as at unit level. So I'm very strong in industrial relations and core human resource areas, as well as administration, public relations, land acquisition, and other functions. So here I'm just going to give you what are all the priorities for HR in 2024. I don't want to bore students as well as the faculty members by giving the same old stereotypic input. So instead of that, I just gone ahead and I just probably scheduled my priorities, what is required in 2024. I'm audible to all, and also my PowerPoint is visible to all. I just want to confirm from
yes,
anyone.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. In case of any difficulty, please share me. I just for a number coincidence, I have just jotted down the priorities for HR in 2024. Coincidentally, the number also has come as 24. So there are 24 simple slides. So what I'm going to talk about: fostering the connection between culture, human experience, and business strategy. Thing is that, again, as you all very well aware, HR has various areas starting from recruitment, retention, to attrition, to culture. Everything is there. I'm not here to again go on theoretically talk what is there, what is not there, or how is the organization and all. Instead of that, I'm just listing the priorities of HR in 2024. And my point is clear. My point is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So here, the first point is that fostering the connection between culture, human experience, and business strategy. Today, there is a missing gap between culture, human experience, and business strategy. Earlier, organizations has focused on culture, but probably forgotten the human experience, and not the culture has been synced with business strategy. So today, the need of the hour is that there should be a connection between culture, human experience, and business strategy. This is the point I just want to say. So again, for each slide, I have three particular points. So here, what I'm trying to say is that instead of taking only the presentation, what I did is that I also giving the requirements like how to operationalize this, how to operationalize in your own area of practice. So that is first point. Second point is that how it is going to give an impact on different sizes of business, and what are all the specific challenges will be faced by HR while moving it forward. Again, I don't want to read out the statements which I myself have prepared. So instead of that, while operationalizing the cultural thing, first of all, the existing culture, existing human experience has to be surveyed, has to be interviewed by the senior people, get on a focused group discussion with seniors, and get what is their weakness and how to probably align themselves in future. Accordingly, they need to go for planning, and then they need to devise the policies and implement it. So this is my point. And again, I'm not going into each and every sizes of business because that may not largely help to the students or the faculty members. So the general points I'll share. Anyhow, I'm going to share the PPT. You can refer yourself. So that at least at the end of the session, after say 20, 25, 30 minutes, we can have enough time to discuss around and we can take it forward. Second point is that designing a people first culture that focus on people's mental health, wellness, and well-being. So today, while we talk about the Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, we have already crossed 2023. Today, the average age group of modern IT organizations have gone less than 24, 25. There were ages where the average age was at 40, average age was at 35. Today, there are organizations where their average age is only 24, 25. While we are very proud and raise our collars that we are very young and vibrant organization, so is the challenges. Earlier, there was a mix of crowd. Challenges were also unique. Challenges were different. But today, people's mental health and overall well-being is deteriorating day by day. Though our systems are good, advanced medical systems are great, our insurance facilities are much higher, medical facilities are much higher, but still, when it comes to employees' overall health, both mental as well as physical health, it is definitely a question mark. While a lot of organizations are focusing, changing their focus to health aspect. So here, this is a very, very, very important point. First of all, the HR fraternity, also the students who are going for other disciplines like marketing and other, they have to focus on their own health first. That is my humble point here before going into advice of anyone else. Second point is that as an organization, wherever they join, they have to definitely focus on the health priorities. So earlier, about 5 years back or 10 years back, if I devise a mass health checkup policy for my employees, that is done. So that takes care of most of the thing. And in case of any anomalies, in case of any persons are assessed with cardiac disorders or probably diabetic disorders, it will be corrected. But today, it is not enough. It is not only enough to complete a mass health checkup. After mass health checkup, what are all the course correction has to be done? How the organization has to be designed in an overall fashion so that they will be having a proper work-life balance. They will also be having a proper work environment to work in the organization. That may be in various forms, probably through flexible work arrangements, through open communication, probably to get the information from the employees and also give them a proper awareness. It is not that only you roll out a medical policy or only you roll out a point, afterwards it should not get stopped. So it should be probably on the both way around. Both the team also have to support as well as the HR also have to overall coordinate it. So, and again, similarly for recognition and appreciation also, there should be some room. For example, there are organizations where they have running programs where if they quit smoking or if they quit some bad habits, so they will be rewarded with some incentive. Based on that, the overall efficiency of the organization will probably increase. And not more importantly, the leadership team also should engage themselves on this, on the town hall meeting and other things, so that the overall well-being of the employees will improve by and large. Okay. So, and third point is that on the mental and financial well-being, basically, while we talk about the physical health and mental health, we also need to see the financial wellness of the employees. While most of the time people are probably entering into a long-term housing loan, long-term commitments, and they are just getting stuck there. So that should not be the case. They should have some sort of a leverage in planning their financial wellness. Probably 10 years before, 15 years before, people were talking only on their retirement stage. May they will be giving financial awareness session, but today that is not the case. Probably at what rate of interest products are available, at what age I need to get entering into a housing property, or at what age I need to really start investing. So those points are quite very important. And again, there should be a continuous evaluation on this. It should not be one way around. One time, if we give the benefit, afterwards employee will follow. It should not be the case. So it should be on a holistic basis. So this is my third important point. There will be definitely specific challenges towards this, but we need to mitigate and we need to move forward. The fourth point, what I want to tell is that on the work environment design, it is not on the workplace design or something like that. It is the overall conducive work environment which have probably a climate to foster collaboration, innovation, and overall well-being. So if my boss is not probably even approachable at any point in time, there is no use. So that way, the work environment should also have a proper design. There are organizations which do probably a equal mix of age grouped people, equal mix of gender diversity. All those things are being done. Accordingly, they can take it forward. This is another important point. While I come to the probably support system for business leaders and direct managers, today we talk about earlier we talk about MS system that itself is sufficient to manage the entire show. But today, each day in day out, lot of further tools have come in. So today a person need not write a letter. Today a person need not have any probably assistant to correct his grammar or something like that. Everything is being given. Same is the case for the technical team members also. In the walks of life, all the things have been automatic readings have been taken into account, and they are able to easily do that. So for which a lot of training is required, both as well as leadership team as well as to the down level people. So that way, customized curriculum can happen. And similarly, if a person is very strong in a particular program, he can mentor himself with other things, and he will be able to do it. So that is another point I want to say. Similarly, there should be open communication channel. Earlier, the case was it will be always like a pyramid type where a top person knows he will be disseminating the information down below. But today it is not the case. Probably some of my team member knows a particular subject. Probably the others can have an open probably culture to learn from him, and also cross learning sessions can happen once in a while. So that will also probably ensure the support system on the overall basis. So basically, the support system will architect the overall growth for the individual as well as to the organization. And sixth point, what I'm mentioning is that empowering direct managers to become a drivers of people first business oriented team culture. So here, both the managers as well as the down level team members have to be given a lot of empowerment. Earlier, it will be like single span of control, where the individual will be having a power centric environment, and he will be giving directions based on the people will be doing. But today it is not the case. We need to also empower the managers downline, and also they have to take it forward with a clear understanding that people is the first, and it should be business oriented culture should be followed. For which again there are a lot of operationalization methods are there. One is that regular feedback has to be taken, and again lot of team building initiatives has to happen, and it should be employee centered management policies. For example, I can always quote Tata. So for in Tata, whatever practices, whatever new policy, anything is there, it should be probably run on a dry run basis with a limited number of people, and probably the feedback will be collectively taken, and thereafter only they will implement it, while most of the organizations have started doing it already. So that is one employee centric approach. For example, if I want to change a diet plan of my employee, and when I worked in a manufacturing organization, I would like to go with some case studies also, in a sense, while giving an example. For example, I was working in a manufacturing environment in an earlier setup, where employees will be working for about close to 8.5 hours to 9 hours in a factory environment with a hard working probably skill. So physically he will lift the machine, he will do probably the assembly, he will do manufacturing, entire thing he will do, even he will do machining, he will do probably the whole physical work. There are other set of people who are doing only mental work like me and you, probably only giving guidance, supporting, and doing this work. So there were survey being conducted that food being served in the organization is very heavy, and they are not able to probably have a lead a healthy lifestyle. So this food contains lot of oil, lot of probably unwanted things are there, spicy and other things are there. So which is not translating it as energy to the employees. So then what we did is that we have appointed a health consultant. Health consultant has worked out a lot of mechanics, and then they have come out with a diet meal. Okay, so this diet meal will be having certain pulses, certain cereals, certain vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruits. Finally, we rolled out the program. The industrial kitchen probably has completely changed the methodology of so-called cooking into a completely new method of transforming it into a different method. Finally, what happened? On the third day, employee, after having their lunch at 1 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock onwards, they started probably have a huge discomfort on their body, because the energy required versus the food intake was very less. So they got hungry, and eventually they all turned wild, and it became a huge issue. Then we have again rolled out a program for staff level separate food menu, and a separate menu for workmen. So that way, and again there also the problem started, like workmen and senior staff members you are categorizing, so that way it was an issue. So for any initiative, whatever we need to roll it out, we need to really take a equal amount of sample size, and we need to run that program as dry run, and then we need to implement. So this students also should have the mantra. It may be any initiative. For easy example, I have given the canteen example, but it may be any initiative like PMS, or it may be any initiative on your training and development. So my point is that we need to take a random sampling, and we need to really implement it with a full energy. We need to get the feedback, and then we need to take it forward. So that is my one point I want to share. And coming to the seventh point, building an inclusive and positive work environment that promotes psychological safety and belonging. So here the environment should also promote psychological safety. Probably today we are talking about a lot of mental disorders, lot of issues. But again, while we deep dive and go into the problem, there were no diversity, there were no gender neutrality, there were no mixed age group people available in the system. So that leads to a lot of such problems. So what we are doing is that again we need to have a proper communication channels among employees, and wherever we will be able to include probably diversified resources, we need to include, and we need to take it forward. And again, here also psychological well-being also, all Maslow's need hierarchy theory. So we need to have mental health, stress management, and overall personal development, which will eventually have a clear roadmap for the organization. So I would like to take a bit pass rather than I myself going ahead. So whether I'm going in a right direction, whether my speed is okay, or I'm able to probably penetrate in your minds and able to address you properly, whether it is relevant. Probably one or two can share the feedback. Accordingly, I can take it forward with the next steps. Any faculty members or students can share, then I can take it forward. Probably admin has to give login access to for them to speak, or how it is.
Sir, they will post it in the Zoom chat box, sir.
Okay. 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 Well, at least I thought one or two faculty members, at least if they give some feedback, that will be good. Whether I'm going in the right direction or because I want to make it more effective rather than just giving as a one-way lecture. Is that okay? Can I go ahead? Okay. Okay, I'm just taking it forward. So here is that the connecting the dots between robust initiatives and creating value for business and people. So here the point here is that there are a lot of dialogue and feedback channels happening around. But again, the problem is that so I think Jublee sir has joined now. Jublee sir, you want to speak anything now?
Yeah. Even you can see the chart. In the chart, they are posing the questions and all that.
Okay, done. No problem.
Okay. The sixth question, I think that you please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. So the next point is that expanding talent pipelines with a focus on neurodiversity and intergenerational talent. So this is one very, very important point. Today, if we see all our talent requirements are all only for the particular project and particular scenario. But if you see that is not enough, probably an organization will be having a multi-diversified business portfolio, but they all need to probably look at multifunctional diversity portfolio over the next 10 years or 12 years. Accordingly, they need to have the talent pipeline in place. Otherwise, what happens is that at a particular point in time, the organization will be ready for diversity, but without any resources. So this has to be developed across organization level. So here there are 3 points which I want to tell is that one is inclusive hiring, develop job descriptions that resonate the neurodiverse candidates, highlight flexibility, support systems, and growth opportunities. For example, here again I will come with a classical example. When we work for a auto giant, so the auto giant were having a diversification plan to enter into a e-actuator project. That's a whole new project. So that whole new project, they have recruited a few resources in advance. Like I recruited and probably keep them in the talent pool, and we started with an R&D. So the mother plant is feeding their salaries. The mother plant is giving their facilities. So finally, at the end of the day, they all been actually criticized. So we are just feeding you, but your delivery is not there. Probably your monthly pay checks are also being paid by the parent organization. That should not be the case. But again, the organization should really insulate them in such a way they will be working for a separate project in a collaborative platform. So that will help them to probably move forward with a specific thing. And again, it is also 10th point is also more connected with the 9th point only. Promoting internal talent marketplaces and internal mobility to meet talent needs across organizations. This most of the organizations are doing, but still few organizations are lagging in it. So whenever there is a requirement comes, so immediately rather than looking into the outside market, we need to see the internal mobility, how to meet the internal talent availability before we proceed into the market. So this is again another point. So that can happen through various internal promotions. Probably accordingly, the internal job posting policy has to be developed, and they can move forward. And 11th point, what I'm mentioning is that redesigning job and career management framework to bring organizations up to the speed with the demands of future of work. So as you know very well, today the customer is not ready to wait even for few minutes. So they want on-dot delivery. It may be product or it may be service or it may be anything. But at the end of the day, whether we are ready to have such a sort of speed, definitely organizations are not ready. So for which we need to have a clear career management platforms with clear frameworks. It should not be only the platform, it should also have a clear framework. And also wherever job has to be redesigned, it has to be redesigned. And probably the career path also should be clearly identified, and it should be jotted down. And there should be continuous learning and improvement. Probably a less competent talent of yesterday would be a very bright talent in future. So that way we need to have a continuous learning and development. It's not a one-stop exercise. It should be ongoing. And similarly, feedback has to be taken then and there, and we need to develop the resources. Coming to the 12th point, designing a culture of lifelong learning for skill management, reskilling and upskilling. So this is one very important subject altogether, because all the organizations today, they are mainly mitigating on the skill management. Skill management consists of reskilling and upskilling. So first is the reskilling. So whatever learned 5 years back or 4 years back, they have to reskill themselves, and whatever they have probably not learned, they need to upskill themselves. So this may be set of competencies, what they were lagging, what they need improvement, they need to focus and they need to move on. So probably with the AI integration, these things are very easy. Today, a lot of programs are available. For example, even our own training module is not done at a classroom session now. Moving forward, we are doing everything through AI, and recorded versions have been shared to the employees. So that way, it will be very, very helpful for the people to do reskilling and upskilling. And the last point is that, in the sense on the HR side, continuous labor law compliance. So that is again a big issue. Now, being global investors are in place, earlier days may a lot of non-compliance is there, but today it was not the case. Non-compliance is being viewed very seriously. So policy implementation across organization has to happen across locations. So that will take that will also is a really required one. So with leveraged HR technology, we need to have a strong and strict labor compliance, particularly on the Interstate Migrant Act and other things. Post-COVID, may a lot of benefits have come in, and those things have been not really implemented at the ground. So that way, that has to be done. And until this time, we are talking about the HR. From compliance onwards, we are slowly diverging to the business factors, preparing the workforce to adapt and respond to the volatility, uncertainty, that is VUCA world, you might be knowing very well. So the business landscape is having a huge difference. So that way, the workforce strategy planning, continuous learning, fairness and equity, leverage technology. Again, I'm just probably you may probably, if a person would have observed for the last 30 minutes, you would have probably easily catched that I'm always coming on a continuous improvement, artificial intelligence, probably leveraging the technology, learning, and continuous improvement. This is what I'm trying to say in different forms. Similarly, developing strategies and capabilities and manage crises effectively and ensure organizational resilience. So here, this is also again a scenario planning with the proper leveraging the technology, that is AI or chatbot or whatever it is. Those things has to be planned accordingly. The business has to be taken it forward. So here, the next point is that I don't know how many of you were really aware of the hybrid work model, which has recently picked up. Post COVID, immediately it was remote work. Now it become a hybrid work model, because people who were allowed to work on a remote basis for the last 2 years HR was very difficult bringing them back to the organization on a 9 to 6 job. So that way, now it become a hybrid work model. So here the challenge is that for the last 3-4 years, the business productivity, performance, and managing the culture has become a big challenge. So employee need flexibility, whereas the organization need result. And also on the productivity, there were a lot of issues. So to have managing these 3 points is really a very painful factor as we move forward. So a lot of companies are trying out in different ways, but still nobody could able to really succeed. Even I think recently Infosys founder has given one simple statement that became a huge probably adverse remarks, both positive as well as negative has come in. So that is the level of probably area where we are working. So there will be definitely today in the challenging environment, employees are giving their comments upfront. So that way, it should be a balanced approach, so that it'll have probably a meaningful evaluation. I'm not against hybrid model or I'm not against remote model, but thing is that at the end of the day, organization need also has to be factored in, and they have to move forward. Coming to the 17th point, designing a comprehensive digital transformation strategy for HR. So once in a while, earlier scenarios, I still remember when I started my career, we used to have employee personal file with all the documents filled in, with all the certificates, validation, and things like that. But today, we don't have such concept at all. So everything has become digital. So even the employee can themselves can see at any point of time whatever document he need, he can take it from there in the DigiLocker concept. So that way, lot of data has been translated from physical form to digital form. That is number one. Second thing is that such data has been used for analytics. Earlier, it was not the case. Today, that HR data, employee data is being used for various management uh, data analysis. So that is one important thing. So automation and AI is also really helping here. And this is also going to be one big probably area for students to do their research and things like that. And 18th point is that we are also leveraging technology and analytics to expand and augment HR people work and capabilities. So automatically, once we get more data, automatically the work will also be more, and more analysis output will come. With that, we will be able to streamline a lot of operations. We will be able to empower the juniors to do themselves, and also it will be more data driven rather than trying out something on our own, and at the end of the day we are mitigating it. So that will be completely avoided. And then ensuring ethical implementation of HR tech to safeguard data and people privacy. So while I say the point between 18th and 19th, there are two complete South Pole and North Pole. First thing is that we are talking about the data. We are also talking about the entire data is available on the dashboard. So with that, we will be able to do complete analysis. On the 19th point, we are saying it's my data. Why I need to share in a common forum? Why my data has to be analyzed at an organization level? So that those point is coming. So it was not the case about 10 years back or 5 years back or even 3-4 years back. But today the scenario has come. If I publish my organization, I have probably this age group of people or this particular talented people. Why it should be known to the common world? So again, here data privacy is coming in the forefront. Lot of foreign direct investment organizations are really don't want to breach this. So this data security policy is also giving a big headache how to do an ethical implementation. There are two implementation. One is that straight away implementing it, whatever adverse things comes, we can face it. But here, if we do an ethical implementation, again, there is a requirement to safeguard the data. So here we have an issue. So we need to have data controllers, how to process the data before we publish. So this is again having international regulations into that. India there is no much regulatory factors, but again, once you go into a multinational environment, we need to have a deep dive into that, and we need to take a probably cognizant call before we implement it. And the 20th point, what I'm mentioning is that creating effective strategies for employee engagement, retention in a high volatile talent marketplace. For example, today in any organization, today attrition is one of the major point. Even in my own case, we are having about close to 25% to 30% attrition. I worked in sectors like 3% to 25%, even up to 35% attrition we have handled. So here the issue is that why we miss the bus and then we act on it. First of all, employee engagement and retention is equally important for any HR business partner. So we need to have a clear mechanism how to roll out the programs. There is no right wrong answer. Probably it may come through culture, it may come through work-life balance, it may come through personal development, it may come to fit through monetary benefits, it may come through rewards and recognition. Lot of things are there. Based on the organizational requirement, it has to be factored and it has to be worked out. And 21st point, navigating the complexities of managing the global workforce. So this is again, most of the employees will not be facing this issue, but generally today, most of the multinationals have come into India and they started their manufacturing or service or research and development facilities in India, wherein they are bringing experts and they are allowing them to operate here in an Indian environment. So there are a lot of complexities, lot of challenges. We need to manage that also. So that is also another important factor. 22nd point, implementing agile HR practices and flexible process and policies. Today, earlier, about 10 years back or 20 years back, one HR policy document will be there that is common for all. But today, that is not the scenario. We have separate graduate engineer trainee policy because these are all probably Gen Z generation. So there we need to differentiate. Their thinking process, their policy adaptation, and their functioning will be completely different. For example, a person at the age of 45 or person at the age of 50, he may be prompt in coming to office and going probably prompt in going in the evening also. But the same is not the case for youngsters. So we need to give them that flexibility, both in terms of work environment as well as the timing. So designing of systems of compensation benefits rewards. This is also another important point. Again, based on the age factor, a workforce needs different requirements. I still remember when I started my career way back in 1999, 2000, employees will be provided with a Lifebuoy soap and a Horlicks bottle on a month end. Today, even I can't imagine those things in current context. So then the needs are different today. The needs are completely different. There are organizations where I worked in the evening time. They used to give some cookies, biscuits, and some snacks while employee leaves the organization at the end of the day. But what happened, probably people were taking that and going to home. The intention was that while a father is going to his house, children will also look from his father like what he bought today. So organization wants to give variety. So each day, Monday to Saturday, they will be giving different varieties of snacks so that children will eagerly wait at their home. But today, that was not the case. Today, parents are affordable to buy whatever they want. And they are no more probably required from the organization level. So today, the rewards, compensation, benefits, recognition are in a different per se altogether. So to the changing need of workforce, we also need a flexible benefits option, and it should holistically work for the organization also. It cannot be one thing. And again, I'm going back to the point square one. So whatever we need to implement, whatever we need to evolve, we need to do a sample survey, we need to do a focus group discussion, and we need to take the inputs from selective employees, and thereby we need to implement, and we also should have the tendency of correcting ourselves in future if something goes wrong. So that is another point I want to share. And the last point, leveraging organizational capabilities to create a positive impact on the community and all stakeholders. Today, if you see, a lot of small organizations have come up very, very well, and probably to showcase their capabilities, they have done very well in R&D. They have done very well in stakeholder engagement. So here, the capability has to be assessed at on a frequent intervals, at least 3 to 5 years, and they need to take it forward with a sustainability model. It's not that I have developed about 5 years back, I will do that in the rest of the years. That will not work out. Okay, so these are my points, friends. I have shared close to 24 points for 2024. These are the priorities which comes to my mind, and I have just jotted down. So it may be completely practical for children who are just going to step into their career. Probably few might be able to relate it directly. Few might be able to correlate it with their day-to-day points. So in case if you have any doubts or in case if you want anything, I'll be able to share it with you. 8th point, 21st. Yes, sir, please.
Thank you, General Ji. If you scroll the chat back, the question, 3 more questions are there.
Yeah.
Could you please answer this question?
Yeah, sure. I just got it. People have asked about point number 21 and point number 8. So here what I would like to share is that earlier in Indian context, Indians only will work, and based on that policies will evolve. But today that is not the scenario. Today within India, other state employees are also interstate migrant people. They are all relocating and they are working. Second thing is that globally, India is going on the forefront. So that way, many multinationals have established their units and labs here, thereby bringing experts to India and working. So we need to have a comprehensive management. That's what I'm saying. So this is very important for organizations wherein they have such people in their kitty. And going to the 8th point, yes, connecting the dots. Actually, basically, there are a lot of education and training is happening. There are a lot of initiatives are happening around. So there, they need to have a clear understanding, and they should have open dialogue with people, and they need to understand and move forward. That's how I am just trying to say here. Any other point? Where are the primary skill capabilities students? Okay. So I just got it. What are all the primary skill capabilities students need to develop to work in core HR? Okay, so it's an excellent point what people have asked me. Basically, I cannot tell you these are the particular areas you need to develop today. Based on the organization you join, it may vary. Based on the organizational requirement at that particular point in time, it will vary. But in my opinion, today, if you see, the primary focus will be on the talent attraction, talent engagement, talent retention. These are the 3 areas we need to really do. All this, again, I can say it in very simple 3 words, but this 3 covers the entire HR area. So talent attraction comes with starting from acquisition, identification, everything. Second thing is the talent management. It comprises of your performance management, organizational behavior, your entire training and development, everything. Third one is the talent retention. So talent retention will be the strategy, policies, and all things put together. So these 3 things, if you focus, you'll be able to have a large coverage. So that is my point, friends. Apart from that, any other point is there? You can free to ask me. Even in the chat box, I think I have completed most of the questions. Lot of professors are there. In case if you have any queries, you can post in the chat box. Otherwise, I'm through. Probably I may be very fast, or probably I may probably not gone into probably very, because it's a spectrum of presentation having wide subjects. So I really don't want to waste the time by going each point by point. So that is the reason I just quickly completed it, to allowing participants to ask in case if they have any queries. Friends, if you are all okay, I'm okay. I'm done with my presentation. So thank you all. Thank you meeting you all, and thanks to.
So there is one question: impact of diversity and equity in employee retention of India.
Okay, super. It's a very good question. Basically, what they are asking is that what is the impact of diversity and equity in employee retention of Indian industries? Yeah. The point here is that definitely diversity and equity is required. In spite of employees being retained or not, today diversity and equity will be very, very helpful in retaining the talents. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2 is that while going for employee retention strategies or employee retention in Indian industries, there will be a database for the last 3 years or last 5 years where we lose the talent. And wherever we lose the talent, where they are eventually going and joining for their higher education or for probably higher compensation, those things has to be analyzed Accordingly, we need to give focus on the diversity and equity. For example, I can tell you a classical case study. What we have done is that we have recruited graduate engineer trainees some time ago in my earlier organization. So everybody was saying that no, graduate engineer trainee entry level salary is very low. It's very difficult for us to go to campuses and hire students. What happened, we have increased the graduate engineer trainee compensation at the entry level to certain amount. I don't want to mention the amount. We have increased. Eventually, what happened, when they came in, graduate engineer trainee salary was slightly high. People who are working in the organization at that particular point in time, their salaries were low. So there was a huge imbalance. Thereby, I have loosened people on the probably experienced level. So that is also an issue. For bringing new talent, I should not lose my existing talent also. It's again like a win-win situation. We need to moderate it very frequently, very casually, at the same time, very effectively. So these are my 3 points I need to address on this. So this diversity and equity, we need to really moderate it at a right time, and accordingly, we need to act.
Apology, I am Jubilee. Professor Jubilee, having 18 years of industrial experience and 20 years of academic excellence. Sorry, due to technical problem, I couldn't join in the early. Now, slightly I will throw some lights on what is priorities for HR in 2024. There are my mind that 4 points is the salient point. It could be leadership vision for CHRO. The second one is future of work. The third one is leader manager effectiveness. And fourth one is artificial intelligence in human resource. When you see the leadership vision is seeing invisible things, then it is to develop a good relationship with my team members and encourage them to achieve their full potential. It could be the vision. To continue working toward being a leader, that I would also want to work. As the leader of the development team, I will protect my team from unreasonable demands. It is all about the leadership vision. Dr. Senthil, I used to fail to introduce him, that it's a reverse order. Actually, Mr. S. Senthil Kumar is actually Dr. S. Senthil Kumar. He is waiting for his Viva. He has already submitted his project report, and designation is a corporate head, human resource and administration. Organization where he is working, AG&P Pratham, and it is I could not read due to time concern. It's 3 more pages of this resume, but I will read only 4 or salient points I cut out that. And Senthil Kumar sir, I can happily call you doctor because you are going to get a PhD degree soon.
Sure,
and yeah, Dr. S. Senthil Kumar is from Tamil Nadu. He is MBA HR with LLB and driven corporate HR functions with leading Indian and multinational in manufacturing, fast-moving consumer goods, service, and port sector. With nearly 23 years of experience, comprehensive experience in managing the entire gamut of HRD, IR, OD functions with demonstrated leadership qualities, conceptualization and developing HR and admin procedure, operational policies, planning, implementing, and effective control measures. And the last one is extensive practices in the spectrum of HR activities encompassing manpower planning, recruitment, selection, performance management, compensation, training and development, competency mapping. That The one core area is competency mapping. He is expert in competency mapping and significant expertise in implementing organizational development interventions and all aspects of human behavior and development. Senthil Kumar, you have done a superb work. It was a really thought-provoking and mind-blowing things. Then let me ask you let me throw some question on you. That only 2 questions. Please answer. That it is a 9.
Yes, I already have gone through in the chat box. Thank you so much for the wonderful and lovely introduction. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Friends, Sir was asking like what an MBA should possess himself and what is the area he need to develop himself. What is the set of competencies he need to develop for before he goes to the job. So that is as I told you earlier, it is not a one single stop solution today, because it's based on your organization where you are going to work and what is their current need at this point in time. But point here is you can excel in talent attraction, talent retention, and talent management. That may be employee retention, employee management, and employee acquisition. These are the 3 areas which any organization will be having a severe challenge. All the or I can put it in a very polite way, is that all the challenges will evolve in these 3 areas only. So if you try to get your conceptualized skills in these 3 areas, you will be definitely able to do a better job. So probably your internship also should go in line with this, probably during talent acquisition or talent retention or talent management. These 3 areas, if you focus, you will be able to relatively do better. But again, this depends on the current scenario. Probably there are organizations, well established, well matured organizations, still today they have only attrition of 5% to 6%. If you go there, there will not be any retention method. Probably ongoing retention policies will be live, and they will be managing with that. Talent acquisition will be almost zero. On the other side, talent management, probably day-to-day programs will run on. You will not be having excited to work, but still, it depends on the organization where you join. Depends on the opportunity what is available to you. But these 3 areas, if you get a clear understanding, you will be able to excel. That's my humble point. I always personally feel world is very large, and whatever we have learned is just a pinch of whatever we have it in our hand. So the rest is still we are yet to explore and yet to get. So that is my humble point here. So students, you already have a good basic background, basic education. With that, you can definitely able to take it forward to the next stage. That's my point.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senthil Kumar ji. Now, the Thanksgiving for AIMS founder president, Professor Jublee. I thank him for the aims and all that. And thankful is giving to present President Dr. Sarmaji, Meerut School of Management. He is a chairman for the Meerut School of Management. Presently, he is president for the AIMS. Thank you, Ji. Then immediate past president, Dr. R. Nandagopal Ji. Thank you, sir. We are only guided us. You only gave this chance. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
That's a number of people are asking email ID of Senthil Kumar Ji.
Yeah, I'll send it
contact
across.
number and WhatsApp number. We will give it to the AIMS office, because you can have that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good day.